I woke up one morning feeling like I had the worst case of the flu I ever had. My body ached from head to toe, but I was a mom of young children and a full-time teacher, so I did what I always did. I simply got on with it. I muddled through the day, praying for the moment when I could go home, collapse into bed, and just get some sleep. After a few days, the pain seemed to go away, but then suddenly it came back with a vengeance. The flu doesn't come and go like that, so off to the doctor I went. After a lot of poking and prodding, it was determined that I had fibromyalgia and I was prescribed antidepressants. The pills allowed me to sleep, which let my body rest, but then I felt like I was wandering around in a daze. I couldn't live like that. My doctor then sent me to an integrative medicine specialist, who then integrated me into the appointment schedules of a chiropractor, a nutritionist, a physiotherapist, an acupuncturist, and a therapist. I was exhausted. I was no longer dazed by the drugs. Now I was bewildered by the appointments I had to keep and the money I was spending. Then one day, my acute hearing and penchant for eavesdropping paid off when I overheard a conversation about a mindfulness program. I listened as the woman described how this program saved her life and helped her deal with her stress, anxiety, and her pain. I apologized for my nosiness and asked her all about it. She gave me the details, and 5 days later, I was sitting on a meditation cushion. I was terrified. I knew nothing about meditation, and here I was in this huge room filled with about 100 strangers when a bell rang and our facilitator began speaking in a quiet yet soothing voice that just seemed to reach me on a level I'd never experienced before. For the next 7 days, we learned how to be present, how to scan our bodies, and eat more slowly than I'd ever eaten in my life. We explored our thoughts and emotions without getting attached or worrying about the future, ruminating about the past. We sat in meditation for just a few moments at first until we worked our way up to a whole day of silence. As the days progressed, I noticed a shift. My thoughts were no longer racing. The pain in my body was decreasing, but most importantly, I felt peace and contentment in my spirit. At first, I wondered if they were slipping something into our food because I felt so different. And then I realized that was just my cynical mind looking outside myself for a rational explanation. I would never have believed that I had the power to heal myself. As the time went on, I became aware of long buried emotions that were drifting toward the surface. And then one day, our day of silence, a dam of emotions burst, and I cried so much that I wondered if my body would dehydrate. I was afraid, and yet I stayed with the emotions as we'd been advised. They made sure to let us know that we were not alone, and if we needed someone, they would be there. We were encouraged to stay with our feelings as we allowed them to surface and then watch them drift away. At one point, I curled up into the fetal position and stared at the gentle ripples of the lake, imagining my tears conjoining with the water. I allowed sadness, grief, and anger to rise. I felt them all, and the pain that accompanied them, having grown up in a place of trauma. I stuck it out even though I wanted to run. Gradually, the tears dried up, and in my silence, I realized I had let go of pain that had been part of my life for over 40 years. I sat in the silence, becoming aware of the most peaceful feelings and a freedom I'd never felt. You see, on that retreat, I found the catalyst I needed to move forward. Mindfulness led me to my own inner wisdom, which has given me the tools I need to lead a rich and fulfilling life. We all have that inner wisdom. We just have to find the stillness to access it.